Hello guys, it's Joanne here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to cut and sew this beautiful sleeve you're seeing here. So if you're interested in something like this, please watch this video to the end. Don't forget to like and share this video. Also, please subscribe to my channel. Now let's get right into the tutorial. So guys, to begin, I'm going to be making use of this pattern paper here. Also notice that this pattern paper is on fold. So I'm going to start by taking all the vertical measurements, but first I'm going to draw out the start point line. Next, I am going to be taking the cap's height measurements. To get your cap's height, you're going to divide your bust by 12 plus 1 inch. So from this start point line, I am going to impute the measurement. Divide your busts by 12 plus 1 inch. What I had was 4.5 inches. So I went ahead to mark on the both ends of this paper, and I'm going to connect the 2 points into a straight line like so. Now this line I just drew here will serve as the armhole line. Now I'm going to go ahead to label this line as the armhole. Next measurement I'm going to take is the elbow measurement. So going back here to the start point line, I'm going to place my tape here on the start point line to take the elbow length. The elbow length I'm working with is 13 inches. Go ahead and take your own measurements. I'll do the same thing on this part in order to get a straight line. Now I'll connect these 2 points into a straight line. Having done this, I am going to also label this as the elbow. Now to determine the length of your sleeve, you're going to come here to the start point line to measure the entire length of your sleeve. Since this is a basic long sleeve, I took the entire length to be 23 inches plus 1 inch for hemming allowance. I'm going to be connecting these 2 points I marked earlier into a straight line. So that point there, that line there is the sleeve length, and this other 1 inch down here is the hem line. Now I have finished with the vertical measurement. As you can see, I have the start point line, which is also the shoulder line, the armhole line, the elbow line, and the sleeve length. Next, I'm going to come to this armhole line, to take the bust measurement, divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Whatever you have, you're going to impute on this line. Once you've done that, go ahead to connect this point to the top of this start point line, okay, as you can see. After that, for this line I just drew here, I am going to take the midpoint of this line. So divide this line here by 2 just to get the midpoint, okay. Once you've divided by 2, you're going to get the midpoint. Make a point right there using your marker, and from that point you're going to go up by ½ inch and come down by ½ inch. Once you've gotten those 2 points, I am going to go ahead now to draw out the armhole. Now notice that this point on the top part will be the back armhole, while the down part will be the front armhole. So to draw out the back armhole, you're going to place your cuff exactly like this to draw out those top parts. Now turn your curve, okay? Let the curvy parts face the top part, okay? Now you're going to also connect from this line here all the way to the midpoint. Have you seen what I just did? To draw out the front armhole, so I'm going to label this as the back, okay? This is the back armhole. To draw out the front armhole, you're going to place your curve like this. Please take notes of the way I placed this curve rule. Then after that, you're going to turn it back here just like the one we did for the back and connect it this way. Now I'll go ahead and label this as the front. As you can see, I have gotten the armhole curve perfectly. I'm going to go ahead to take the elbow measurements once I was done with this. So for the elbow, you're going to divide your elbow circumference by 2. At that point, this line here, you're going to impute your elbow measurement. So divide your elbow circumference by 2. Whatever you have, you're going to impute on the elbow line. Now to the length of the sleeve, you're going to divide your wrists by 2, okay? Divide your wrist circumference by 2, whatever you have, wherever you have the length of your sleeve. That point, you're going to divide that measurement by 2. Now after that, connect the 3 points together to form your sleeve. On this down part, use a straight rule to connect. So guys, I am through with the drafting of this sleeve, as you can see, and this is a basic long sleeve, okay? So if you want to draft your basic long sleeve, this is the pattern which you're going to be using to achieve that. I'm going to cut this out. On this armhole part, cut out the top part, that is the back armhole. And once you've done that, open it up like this. You can also transfer these lines here to this other side. Now at this point, I'm going to cut out the front armhole, okay? I label this part as the back armhole. So now cut out the front armhole, cut out the back from the front. Guys, have you seen the way it is? Now go ahead to label these parts, front and the back, and also transfer these lines as well. When you're cutting on your fabric, you're going to be adding your 1/2 inch allowance on the top part and whatever allowance you want to add on the side, okay? On the down part, you don't need to add any allowance since you've added on the pattern paper. I'll label this as the basic sleeve. Okay guys, at this point I am going to have to work on this basic sleeve to get the exaggerated sleeve which you saw earlier on your screen. So I'll come here on this armhole line, come down by 1.5 inch, come down by 1.5 inch. From that point, still go down by 1.5 inches, and the third one still go down by 1.5 inches, okay? So basically I came down by 4.5 inches. Mark 1.5 inches and mark on this other side as well. Then on the middle line here, you're going to just mark a straight line all the way to the top. So this line I just drew here on the middle part will serve as a guide for me to connect this point 1.5 inches I marked earlier. So connect it to this middle point exactly the way I am doing in this video. Now after connecting this part, do the same thing for this other parts. Connect the 1.5 inches on the down part, the second one, and the last one. Okay. So guys, after connecting these points here, just go ahead to label, but it's not really necessary. I'm going to now slash through what I just marked, what I just drew here. Okay, just slash it. First you're going to slash from this top part here. Okay, slash from the top part to that point, to the midpoint where you connected to the 1.5 inches on the side. Now from there you're going to slash all the way to the 1.5 inches, but don't slash it out, don't cut it out completely. Do the same thing on this other part as well. Now I'm going to lay this pattern paper under it. Take note of the midpoint, okay? Just make a midpoint on the pattern paper. That will serve as a guide for you to know how to place the one you slashed. Now put it on top of the new pattern paper like this, and making sure that the line you drew on the new pattern paper meets with the line on your basic sleeve. Now go ahead to spread this anyhow you want. If you want it fuller, if you have enough fabric to walk around with, go ahead and spread it anyhow you want. Okay. After spreading, I noticed that this was not really wide enough, so I am going to take out the masking tape and spread this very well. Okay, I want to have a fuller sleeve, so make sure to spread yours very well. If you want your sleeve to be fuller, you can even spread it, make it fuller than this. Okay, spread it as much as you want. Now when I measured this part, I had about 3.5 inches, which was okay. So if you like, you can have like 5 inches from that point. Okay, you can have like 5 inches, 4 inches, depends on how wide, how full you want your sleeve to be. So I think I had 3 inches, so I made do with 3 inches at that point. Do the same thing for this other part and max it up, then go ahead to spread the other parts. Now you're going to spread this very well anyhow you want it, and after that cut on your fabric. So guys, I cut on my fabric, and This is basically what I have. So for the fabric, I cut 2 pieces for both sleeves. Okay, now for the top part, I added half-inch allowance. For the side, I added 1 inch. Okay, now on the down part, I added half-inch. So notice that this down part, I shortened the length of this sleeve. Okay, I shortened the length of the sleeve to 17 inches. That's because I'm going to be adding a flare to the down part. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go ahead to remove this masking tape and place this back the way it was before I slashed it. I am now going to measure around this armhole of the main basic sleeve. Measure around this armhole to take note of the circumference. Now what I had was 17.75. I'm going to just write that down somewhere. Now on this other part of the sleeve, I cut out this one here. Alright, I cut out this one here. Basically, I cut like, I think it was 8 inches. I cut out 8 inches. So I'm going to just take out 1 inch from this measurement. For this one, it depends on what length you want to have. You can have 5 inches, you can have 6 inches, you can have 7 inches. Depends on the measurements you want to have at that point. Now I use that to cut on the crepe fabric. I added 1 inch on the side and half inch on the top parts. I'm going to place the right side facing the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, the chantilly fabric. Go ahead to stitch on the down part. If you have your lining piece, you can use that to turn it up, but I didn't have a lining piece to turn that up. Now once I was done stitching the down parts, I went ahead to give it a nice press, and this is what it looks like. So take note of the front and the back's armhole. Don't forget that. On the chantilly lace, do the same thing as well. So I'm going to place the chantilly lace. Alright, the wrong side of the chantilly lace should be facing the right side of this crepe fabric. Once you're through with that, you're going to take to your machine and run a gather stitch on those top parts. Do the same thing for the second sleeve and gather it up. So after running a gather stitch, I gathered this up off camera. This is what this looks like on one of the sleeves, as you can see. So for the second sleeve, I'm going to gather it up here to show you guys for the sake of beginners. Now from this one here, you're going to gather this up. Just pick out a thread and start gathering this up. Gather this evenly, gather one side to the top part and do the same thing for this side. Once you're through with that, you're going to take the entire measurement of this armhole. That's the reason why we measured the circumference. So I'm going to use my tape and measure around the armhole to make sure I have 19.75 plus the 1 inch allowance left, for which I have for the sewing allowance. Measure up your circumference, and after gathering it up, you're going to run, take to your machine and stitch the side by the allowance you have. So I'll do that and fix the down sleeve. And guys, this is what I had after stitching. It is very easy. So this is how this is what this looks like, and this is very beautiful. So this is the sleeve, the bell sleeve that I added. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next one.